Video 31. May 9, 2011. Kadima has some doubts about some contacts from a race that possesses some 4,000 followers. 1. I am Nibara. I have before me a message which represents that it is from the Pleiadians High Council. Is this correct? Kadima, we are always in contact with Pleiadians and have a good relationship with them. There isn't a Pleiadians council in contact with your society at this time. 2. When you see some spaceship land, is the correct protocol and greeting. It is the manner and custom when entering my space to ask permission. Or, I am of Earth. I am sovereign. I am an equal. You may not interfere with me. There is no procedure or compliance of approach to communicate with them or with any particular alien. 3. Under no circumstances is anyone to go aboard any spacecraft. This is a way to entrap you, and it will be interpreted as you having given your tacit permission. Simply say, no, I am staying on this earth. I do not give you my permission. Is it correct? No Pleiadians will ask you to board a ship. In the case of any race wanting to take some of you, they would not ask anything, simply immobilize you and take you without delay. Therefore, this kind of description of procedure is not true. 4. A person has given us directions on proper greetings, per the Andromedans, that we are to use with all humans that attend a formal function of a galactic event must introduce themselves by first, standing square. You bow, never taking your eyes off of them, and you say, it is the manner and custom when entering my space that permission is asked. Is it correct? No strain of Andromeda that we know needs any introduction to you. This colony is well known, and they can request the database of the Community Galactica, or through some regional monolith. Any information concerning your societies. 5. Some Zetas say that they are telepathic and can tune into any and every human mind on Earth. Is it possible? Contact via telepathy with you does not work both ways. I can hear your response. But you hardly hear my question because your brain does not have the activation needed to fully enable this function. A few humans on your planet can do this because there are exceptions to every development, actually only a few dozen people. Mental control of a population by telepathy is a complete and totally unfounded utopia. 6. Mythi. Surely you know what type of aliens abducted Betty and Barney Hill and if they were benevolent or not. About abductions, as I said, there are races that have used your DNA to correct problems of development. There are grey races that make experiments genetically crossing them with your line of humanoid, seeking a stronger race physically speaking. And other greys, working for the reptilians along this same line of research. Typically, they take samples from several of your strains for these experiments, but usually all they need are samples. Your government provides human beings to experience pregnancy of hybrids in laboratories kept at underground facilities. They provide these to the reptilians, among other races, who request such a procedure. Your government has a specific department for this, especially within underground bases in North America. After these agreements, the need for abduction of humans by these races fell almost to zero. 7. These Zeta aliens say their planet is long dead, and they have been living by artificial means for eons. On this race, Zeta Reticuli, I've never heard it spoken of. Races that live in spaceships because they lost their planets is something that has not existed for a long time. Currently, the Community Galactica has the knowledge to prepare planets in appropriate areas of solar systems to receive new settlements or relocation without major problems. Some breeds like the Krolians live in their huge ships by choice. They are self-sufficient in everything they need for the survival of their society. You provide a name and a story, but it is very difficult to identify some of these pseudo-breeds. You mention without any relevant details about them. 8. The leader of this group has allowed an implant to be placed inside her brain. The reason given to the leader by the alien is because an implant will help her to understand what the Zetas are telling her. This leader said that the Zetas told her the humans should not mind these implants. There does not exist any race with the name you want planning to deploy ships of recognition in your population. Any such initiative would not be permitted by the Community Galactica because it would be direct interference in the stability of the new colony. Whoever is citing that possibility is certainly exploring possibilities of rumors of your own government. Trying this technique with your citizens to control the masses. 9. They state, likewise the genetic engineering done in the past on mankind is not a secret. And as engineers charged with the current leap for mankind, we have been privy to all the info we desire in this area. Is it possible? No race will be able to manipulate the Earth humans genetically, not anymore. This kind of promise has no foundation. The Earth has reached a stage in which the society will be declared a race. If other races will live with you, here or elsewhere, creating hybrids, this will be the result of your entry into this new stage, where your race will live with other races alike, without any restriction or imposition. 10. Should I be afraid of these Zeta aliens for not trusting them and asking too many questions about their motives? Will the Zetas hunt me down or any other humans that disagree with them? It sickens me to think that I have none of my thoughts that are my own. Have we no protection against this invasion? What are the good aliens doing to stop this action of prying into our minds? About that, I think I already answered the previous questions. No race will directly interfere with you. So this is a point fully defined. There is no technical or practical possibility of that happening because you are under the full surveillance of different races in this restart of the planet. Do not waste your time worrying about it. You see, every one of you can channel your hopes, believing what you want to. 4,000 people is nothing compared to the hundreds of millions who still believe in heaven and hell. Cindy asks, Mythi, were the Krolians asked to study the Nibiru system for the benefit of the humanoids on Earth? If the answer is yes, please explain why. Cindy, the Krolians work for several races in our galaxies. For millennia they have participated in various actions to support the Community Galactica. The consideration they give to all solar systems is always welcome, and they value this. To assist in the establishment of the first official humanoid colony in your solar system is first of all for them an honor. Cynthia asks, what I would really like to know is if it's possible for us to contact you, an extraterrestrial soul, ourselves, and if yes, how? How is CB doing this, and why don't you communicate with our government to tell them what you are telling us? Cynthia, as I explained earlier, my contact with you is purely informal. I answer the questions to be in parallel. Studying this new colony led by my academic curiosity. I theoretically should not be having these contacts, but as I am not trying to impress any new philosophy, just answering your questions. I am not in any way hindering the context of my mission, nor changing the finalization of this new era. We cannot directly contact your governments because they are not considered your legal representatives facing the Community Galactica. We have no license to interfere in your history, especially in this late age, when you must prove you are a consolidated race, to unite this colony to the other communities. Only when the troubles begin next year can we have the order to interfere in any way. Do not ask how, because I cannot answer at this time by not having this information. In your area there will be changes, as in the entire planet. But it is important you be aware that your chances will always depend on the frequency of your aura, or of yourself. Zeta Reticuli asks, are there some humanoids forbidden to reincarnate because of bad or evil behavior? Will the evil ones be punished? Zeta, nobody is prevented from reincarnation, on the contrary. They are compelled to do so by their frequency of aura. Could you imagine a spirit who has enjoyed a comfortable life in this current stage would feel good going back to the Dark Ages? Would that not be a private hell? Having the genes loaded with subliminal memories, and then to be living in an environment totally out of context? It would be a life well disgusted with his condition and would be paying with many incarnations to return to this point again. Zeta Reticuli asks, also, will family members, such as my children and spouse, follow me to the new frequency, or will we be separated forever out of phase? Will we reunite and recognize each other one day in eternity? Do you know? Zeta, if you discarnate together, you can be together during the same period of time in the aura of the planet, the fourth dimension. In this case, you can at least choose between going to your place of duty or follow the less enlightened of your family to an area of lower frequency. You can choose to step down, since you are absolutely sure of what you will do, as all your memories will be available in the fourth dimension. What you now think you are going to want can be very different than what you do when you can see your path as a whole. Carlos asks, I would like to ask if time travel is possible for aliens or any other race that you know of, and if yes, how? Carlos, I do not know how. This question has not been done before. You did. This is a very common question. Everyone would like to be able to do this at least once in their lifetime. See, the past, as the term says, it's happened. The only things left over from the past are the images that travel through space, until they dissipate, and as mental frequencies that may be bouncing in the aura of the planet, until they disappear too. Back to the past is a dream theory, it is not possible. When we say time travel, it means what happens in the folds of time and space that are generated through the portals of transport. When you are about 400 light years away and can be transferred here immediately, in a split second, you are traveling in time, in your present. The future and your present is a line of continuity. There is no travel time to the future because the future will be, not yet. There are no time travelers to the past and the future as you romance, but yes, there is the journey at the present time with no time, regardless of the relationship between time and space involved. When you travel between systems of very different frequencies, this leads to disparities such as 10 minutes on my system. Here representing 2 months or 2 years somewhere else. That kinda disparity in time just does not happen when you transfer instantly.